That's a really good question.
I thought about wearing it, bling.
Wrestling's pretty good. Thank you.
Frank Castle is in my bones. Frank Castle is in my bones.
And one of the things that I saw in him and that he saw in me too.
So not even just going back to season 1 of Loki, like right after that, were you just blown away by kind of the way people around the world, your performance resonated with such a large portion of like the world population? I feel like, did that kind of strike you?
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, it was a relief that
Yeah.
that people that Sylvie resonated with people, yeah, and people sort of identified with her weirdly. And because it was a big task taking on a character like a variant of Loki. He's such a loved character, been around for a decade. Tom does such a beautiful job. He's so loved by so many people. So it's a little bit of a scary task, but it was a relief that she resonated, and she's her own character, and people saw that.
Was it, I guess, an intention of your performance to kind of little by little make Sylvie more vulnerable as I guess both seasons went on? Is that something you think resonated?
It wasn't an overall intention, because I didn't know what was going to happen
Right.
with series 2, but I think that is what happened eventually, just because of the story and where she ended up. Um, Being able to try and rest and live this normal human life took a lot of bravery for her, I think, after being on the run for so long, after living this very particular life that she'd been living. And I think that added to her vulnerability. You saw her with something to lose, something really personal that she's fought so hard for, became threatened, and that increased her vulnerability tenfold.
Is that why you kind of just touched on it? Is that why it seemed like she was so happy to be working at McDonald's? Because it's just a normal thing, like just a normal
Yeah,
job.
yeah, I think so. I think she just wanted to rest and to make some human connections with some ordinary people and just live a simple, normal life. But obviously, she's not normal. She's an outcast, and so it was always going to be just a hat that she was trying on.
How do you piece the character together early on? What do you draw from kind of the early scripts or summaries you saw that you say you can put yourself into a little bit, or things you want to, I guess, amplify?
Well, I watched Tom a lot because obviously she's a variant of a character that already exists. So I watched him and I was struck by his mischief and how much he enjoys winding people up or being provocative in certain ways. So I definitely took that on board. Her fighting style was a big part of it. So the way we developed that with the stunt team is that Sylvie is a brawler and she's learnt to fight on the streets, and she embodies that sort of always ready to fight. She's doesn't trust anyone, and she's sort of like a, I've said it a few times, she's like a wild, like a feral cat. She's always on, always looking for threat, always ready to pounce, and that becomes part of the character personality. Um, and I always wanted to know that I wanted her to be vulnerable as well, because you can't have strength and courage without vulnerability. Um, and so it was finding ways to show that. That was the biggest challenge, I guess.
Doing the 2 seasons, can you kind of see why, I guess, some actors either eventually kind of want to break off from this type of work, or want to break because it's so kind of action intense? Like, did you experience that a little bit yet, or is it just a lot of fun for you?
It's just a lot of fun for me. I think Loki, the series, is different to
Yeah.
some of the similar shows or films, there isn't actually that much action in the second
Right.
series. It plays more like a drama or like a sci-fi. There's a lot of dialogue scenes, there's a lot of, emotional acting to be done. So that keeps me happy.
I guess the ending of season 2, Mobius kind of asks Sylvie where she's going to go, and she's kind of gives a look like, so where do you think she goes? Where do you think she would want to go?
I think the possibilities are limitless, and that's what's so exciting about the MCU. Um, I I know that it's not back to McDonald's. I think she's probably looking for her next mission, her next fight, her glorious purpose, in a way.
What was the hardest scene in season 2 that you remember shooting?
The hardest scene. The key lime pie scene was challenging because we had to do it really quickly. You know the one I mean, in the cafeteria.
Yes.
I call it the pie, like, pie
Everyone
game.
talked about the pie, so I think it's fair. I think that's a good
There's just
name. Yeah.
pies everywhere. You know
Yeah.
the room I mean. We had to do it really quickly, and it was such an important scene because Loki and Sylvie are both putting their argument forward as to like what's right, and what they should be fighting for, and it's just a huge scene, um, and yeah, I just wanted to make sure I did that justice, and we both came away like, yeah, I think I definitely agree with Sylvie. Yeah, and Tom was like, yeah, I definitely agree with Loki. We'd convinced ourselves that our characters were definitely right.
Trying different lines or just trying to say things a little differently, or
No, we really don't get many takes.
okay.
This is the thing because it's a TV schedule. It's so quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, we changed it up a little bit with that scene. We had a few alternative lines that we tried. We were writing it kind of as we went along with that scene because we really wanted to get our points across clearly. But yeah, all so quick. Like, I don't know, 2 takes each or something. It was so quick. And I remember there was like a light in the way, and like it was challenging. It was probably the end of the day. We were running out of time. Nothing was playing on our side, so it was really challenging.
That's very
But
funny.
it's one of my favorite scenes in the whole series.
I agree. I think it's mine too.
Just
One
to
of my
show it
favorites.
doesn't matter
Yeah,
sometimes.
it worked.
Yeah.
Um, so many people, yeah, I guess at least in the US, so many people talked about the ending of season 2. We don't know if it's the ending for the characters yet, but I guess I just want to get your take. Like, if not for all, I guess all the characters, but especially Tom, do you think it was a nice way to put a bow on the series?
It was such a lovely way to end series 2. I have no idea if it's going to go any further. I feel like with Loki, he's just got so many lives, hasn't he? They just keep
Yeah.
reinventing him. He's a character that's so universal and so timeless that I sort of can't see the end of Loki. I feel like there must be more,
Yeah.
but that's my take on it.
Well, let me turn around and let me ask you, for fans that saying that can't be the end for Sylvie. Like, what do you say? I don't know if I pull the cart before the horse, but has there been talk? Would you like to continue in the Marvel universe?
I don't know anything. They like honestly, the veil of secrecy extends to us too. So I have no idea. I think it would be fun to do more to see what else Sylvie, could do and where she could turn up. But who knows? I mean, I guess if there's more for Loki, then Sylvie makes sense to be there too. But I honestly, I have no idea. I'm
Nice.
very happy with what I've done so far. So who knows?
What makes Tom a good scene partner, do you think?
Tom just comes to work every day with so much energy and he just wants to make it as good as it can be. He puts everything into the show and his job, and um he just always wants to make it better. He always wants to try again. He wants to try something new, really open to ideas, even if, I have like a weird, crazy idea. He's open to it. You can throw anything at him, and he's a very open-hearted guy. Just with he's just super jolly. and it's infectious.
How about Owen?
Owen is amazingly intelligent, smart, and funny in a completely different way. He's so dry and so clever and so thoughtful and considered. He's got a lot of cool stories as well.